Yeah. All right. Let's continue here. All right. All right. Here. Welcome, 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 welcome everyone to Ancient to Do. Just as we promised you all yesterday, that today we'll be back here to deal with part two of our program from yesterday, which title is Global Event as Trump Captures Maduro. This is the part two of that program. Alright. So we want to welcome you all first of all. Hello everyone. This is Ancient Idu, and we are doing what we know how to do best and what we love doing. Alright. So without taking much of our time, we've already introduced the topic of today's broadcast to you all, and we've made it clear that it's a continuation of where we stopped yesterday. All right. So one more thing before we continue. This broadcast, as usual, is being recorded because we keep experiencing some break in transmissions. So you don't have anything to worry about that if the live transmission gets booted out or boots out everyone, including us. We'll continue because we are recording at the same time. Immediately after the live, we'll upload it. So to those that want to see the complete part of this action series or this interesting story, you can always go through our page to watch it complete. All right. You all know this guy here, this very one. That is Maduro. A man that had the opportunity to run his country, but he preferred to run it into the dust. A former bus driver that had no future, no vision, simply because he got married to the wife, and the wife had been in the political space for a very long time. And on a normal scene, the wife should be like the elder sister. I think the wife gave him a total of 6 years or 10 years gap when it comes to age. So the bus driver called Nicolas Maduro married a successful lawyer who, as at that time, was able to release Hugo Chavez from jail. Hugo Chavez was jailed, so the woman did all she could and got him out. By then, she was dating the bus driver called Maduro. Then along the line, Maduro, you know how fate might have it, somehow he found his way and rose to power. And after Chavez, Maduro became the next gang leader. He had the opportunity to build up the country, but he rather preferred building up criminals everywhere and arming them. To become great, as we said yesterday, it's not about arming a nation with weapons, but you arm them mentally with solid ideological foundation that will make them rise and become better individuals first to their communities, then society at large, and their nation, then from there to the world. Just as the Western nations does, spearheaded by America, the rest of the world will say, oh, the West is giving them a brain drain, taking the best from their land. The West is not taking the best from your land because the West saw something of value in those that happens to be the best in the land. So the West had to cut them, reach out to them, and made them understand that they are valuable people. So when the West did that, come on, I mean, who wouldn't go for it? That's how America rose to fame. America had the opportunity to get arms everywhere and build up a nation of gangsters. But America simply refused. And they did the right thing. They have been the guardians of the world from way back, from World War One to today. If it wasn't for American intervention, you all should know what Germany should have been doing by now. If it's not for American intervention again in World War II, you know what Germany and Japan, alongside Italy, would have been doing by now. So somehow they were able to stabilize things. So America, one way or the other, offered something to the world, and that which America offered to the world is global peace. Some will call it hegemony, but it is okay if you call it hegemony instead of cruelty led by the axis of evil. First axis of evil fell during the Second World War, and those axes of evil were Germany, Japan, and Italy. Germany, Hitler, Japan, Benito Mussolini, no, Italy, Benito Mussolini, Germany, Hitler, and Japan, Hirohito, Emperor Hirohito. These were the great men because they did not just become axis of evil, but they were the pioneering fathers and the founders, perhaps the foundation of invention through technology. These people did wonders. From their technology, Britain got a wind of it, the United States got a wind of it, and they developed from there. Another one that did wonders when it came to technology was the Russians. Apart from that, no other person on the surface of the world, including the great copycat criminals called the Chino people or Sino, which you all know as China of today. We have no regards for China, India, or just name it. Because these people want to be great, but they don't want to go through the rigors of the pains the West took to build up. They want to be great through the back door. And when it comes to greatness, it ain't no rocket science, okay? So let us face reality and know that reality is reality. All right, so we are going to roll in quickly because we have a lot to talk about, but we want to play off some videos so that we'll be able to talk or analyze certain or continue perhaps from where we stopped yesterday. So let's go with this video first. There's a capture of who? This is a capture of Maduro. And this is a nation in triumphant joy, in unconfined joy. Look at how happy they are. Listen.
Isfahan, from Mashhad to Hamadan. The situation is so dire that the fall of...
No, this is not Maduro. This is not the capture of Maduro, sorry. This is the fall. Hold on. This is the fall of Iran. What we wanted to start up with is the capture of Maduro, but it's okay. Well, let's go with this one now. There is what is known as a non-alignment agreement that wise people take when they tend to be in the spotlight. And they know that being between the devil and the deep blue sea, it is better to maintain a non-alignment status. It's better. Instead of beating the gun to jump the boat, now this very country decided to align with a dying horse simply because naturally they are foolish and evil. South Africa did the most stupid thing. Today, we saw a news. We should have brought it up here, but maybe when we do the next part tomorrow, we'll bring it up. The Iranian military arrived South Africa for a joint military drill. And this is Iran. a nation that is dying right now, a nation of rogues, a nation of criminals. They had the opportunity to build up a great Persian kingdom. Iran has nothing to do with Islam. Islam conquered it. They are Persia. And you all know that Persia, what America is today to the world, that was exactly what Persia was back in those days. That was exactly what Persia was, Iran. So now the Ayatollahs took over, brought in deadly Islam, and rubbished the country. They rubbished it. They had the opportunity to expand, but they rather preferred to buy weapons, only weapons, train people on how to shoot, just as they are shooting every day in South Africa. So let's go there. Let's play it. Listen carefully. How they fell.
Is experiencing the greatest turning point in its history. A nation of 92 million has overcome its wall of fear. Now, it's not just protests in the streets, it's a full-blown civil war. 31 provinces, 70 cities are in flames. Cities are falling one by one under the control of the people. From Qom to Isfahan, from Mashhad to Hamadan. The situation is so dire that the fall of Tehran is no longer a possibility, but only a matter of time. Because protesters have taken Hamadan, and the holy city of Qom, just 150 kilometers from Tehran, is also largely under their control. Security forces are helpless, unable to stop the people, and some are even joining the people's revolutionary cause. But the real shock is not happening in the streets of Tehran, but in the sky. With the regime's heart about to stop, Plan B has been activated for Khamenei and the mullahs. Options are running out for Khamenei and his team. Wait for the people to destroy the regime and face the wrath of the people. Or Moscow. Just like Assad, Putin is preparing to add a new piece to his collection of fallen dictators. It all started with a spark, at a moment the regime never imagined possible. The map you see on the screen right now is an uncontrollable wildfire. The latest OSINT data we have received proves it. These events are not Tehran-centered protests. They are a revolution in which more than 70 cities simultaneously broke free from the regime's control. The Revolutionary Guards, IRGC, and Basij militias, marketed by the regime as the Iron Fist, are experiencing complete disintegration in the country's strategic depth in just 7 days. Logistics lines have been cut. Communication networks have been shut down. Pay particular attention to the images coming from Mevdast and Shiraz. Here, civilians are not just chanting slogans, they are physically seizing police stations, symbols of the regime's oppression. There is a full-blown asymmetric war in Shiraz and Nurabad. The people are confronting the regime's armored vehicles with stones in their hands and, incredibly, winning these clashes with numerical superiority. The wall of fear has been broken. The fear tactic backfired and turned into a catalyst that sharpened the anger. What happened in the A.I.R district and at the gates of Tehran is a tactical turning point. The regime's most trusted Special Operations Units, the NOPO, have been unable to retake the points they should have suppressed within minutes for days. There is only one voice echoing in the darkness of the night. Don't be afraid, we are all together. In Lorestan province, the people physically expelled members of the regime's paramilitary force, Besich, from their areas. Those soldiers, who took off their uniforms and fled, are the image of the moment when the regime's illusion of invincibility was wiped out. The regime's breaking point occurred at that critical moment when the security forces refused to obey the chain of command. Reports leaked to the Times and confirmed by Western intelligence services revealed a highly secret escape plan that Khamenei would activate if he lost control in Tehran. According to the reports, the 86-year-old Khamenei is prepared for a scenario in which security forces prove inadequate in suppressing protests or switch sides. This scenario involves Khamenei's emergency evacuation from the country with about 20 of his most loyal aides and his family, and the destination is unsurprising: Moscow. Intelligence sources indicate that Khamenei has great admiration for Putin and believes that Iranian culture is closer to Russian culture than to Western culture. This makes Moscow a natural and necessary refuge for him. This escape plan is not just a theory on paper, but is also supported by concrete logistical movements on the ground. The air traffic in Tehran's skies over the last 48 hours goes far beyond normal diplomatic or commercial flows and bears the traces of a panic evacuation or a last-minute attempt to save the regime. OSINT analysts and flight tracking data confirm that Il-76 heavy transport aircraft belonging to the Belarusian and Russian air forces have landed in Tehran one after another. The landing of at least 5 heavy cargo planes in just 48 hours shows how desperate the alliance known as the Axis of Evil is to engage in a logistical operation to save each other. What are these planes carrying? There are 2 possibilities, both of which prove that the regime is dying. The first possibility is that these planes are carrying Russian and Chinese-made crowd control ammunition, weapons, and equipment to Iran's dwindling and disloyal security units. The regime is forced to beg its patron, Putin, for ammunition to use against its own people. The second and darker possibility is that these planes are loading up for Khamenei and his elite's escape plan. Considering that the vast network of assets controlled by Khamenei, called Setad, has a fortune exceeding $95 billion, these cargo planes may be smuggling the stolen wealth of the Iranian people to Moscow. The situation on the ground points to an organic and unstoppable internal collapse, rather than any external intervention. Iranian security forces, the Revolutionary Guards, or IRGC, and the Basij militia have been known as the iron fist of the regime for years. But this time, the situation is different. Intelligence reports confirm serious disintegration, insubordination, and desertions within the security forces. The moment Khamenei sees that even his most trusted commanders are not following his orders, he will activate that infamous escape plan. The biggest factor accelerating this unraveling was the strategic call by Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, who is in exile. Pahlavi addressed the security forces, reminding them that they were not guardians of the regime, but protectors of the 2,600-year-old Persian heritage, and asked them not to point their weapons at the people. This message pierced the regime's ideological armor and created a rift among the security forces.
Now listen carefully. It says that Persia, that is the modern day Iran, had been, that's Persia itself, over 2,600 years. What year are we in right now? We are just in 2026. So Persia, which is modern day Iran, has been there for over 2,600 years. And Islam started 500 years after Christianity was established. And the only thing Islam came with is bloodshed. From 500 years after the death of Christ, 580 till today, Islam has been moving around globally with sword and death only. So now tell me, how is Iran an Islamic nation? I want to know. It is because of foolishness, just as Constantinople fell to the sword or the butchers of Islam that later converted it to Istanbul, Turkey. Alright? Today, in Iran, over 50,000 or about 51,000 places of worship, Islamic places of worship, have been burnt down by the Iranians. They destroyed it. They say they are fed up with this type of religion. So now tell me, if Iran is the global armor or weapon sponsors of all jihadists worldwide, and today the Khamenei system has crumbled, tell me what will happen. Look at the Crown Prince on your screen. He said, you are not there to serve the regime. These are the people that tell you that the moment you die for their God, that you have 75 virgins waiting for you. But at the end, instead of they themselves that knows about this beautiful virgin, they know of the virgin personally. They don't go there to get those virgins. They marry 9-year-old girls. They don't want to die. Anything that will make them die, they refuse it. Khamenei is about jetting out to Russia with assets worth over $95 billion. Physical cash are running into several billions of dollars. I think about 70 or $75 billion cash. That is what Khamenei and his crew, his G unit, they want to flee away with. But they came up with a very stupid plan. Oh, every Iranian family, we know the hardship is too much. It is caused by our enemies, America and Israel. But in the meanwhile, we are going to give you all $7 every month. So a family of 4, or a family of 3, or a family of 5 gets $7 to feed for the whole month. But Khamenei is running away with about $75 billion cash with assets worth almost $100 billion. He's running away with it. He cannot spend that money to take care of the Iranians. So the great Persians, known as Iranians of today, it's only foolish people that will remain foolish to the core unto the end. You sold that yourself, took up a false religion, and you put it on your neck. A God that always tells you from year in to year out, go out there and kill, go out there and kill. The preachers of those that tells you, go out there and kill, they don't do such. They keep the money, they keep the good life for themselves. He's running to the club in Russia, the Losers Club. That is where he's going to lounge and enjoy the rest of his old life. 80-something years old man. Iranians, are you people just waking up? Burning the mosque now. It's okay, but it came in a little bit too late. Look back into yourselves and look for the religion of your fathers, the way your fathers worship. Go back to it. And to those in the eastern part of Nigeria, led by Asari Dokubo, that are preaching about Islam, none of you deserve mercy. Every single idiot from Niger Delta, you don't deserve mercy. None of you. In as much as you preach about Islam being a holy religion, your fathers, your ancestors never did that. Then you don't deserve to be children of your ancestors. You all should be executed. The entire Ijaw should be executed. Because I see that Ijaw people, what's the name of that man that fought war? Sarawiwa and the others, that they are very useless people. Very useless. We don't have mercy when it comes to executing the truth. This is Iran. 2,600 years old culture. 2,600 years old culture. Meanwhile, if it's 2,600 years, it was in the BCs. But Islam came 500 years after the death of Christ. It's not even up to 2,000 years now. And the only thing they preach is killing, killing, killing. Now Khamenei is running away with all the billions. He doesn't want to see the virgins. But he's living old, 80-something years old. But he keeps telling you people, go and blow up yourself, kill yourself for Allah. Mad people everywhere. And you are doing it. But the leaders that tells you to kill them yourselves, they don't want to die. And they don't even want any one of you idiots to get married to their own daughters. But they kept spirit-wise for you. No wahala. Let us continue.
Between national identity and theocratic loyalty. Khamenei's paranoia feeds not only on the people in the streets, but also on the shadows in his own palace. His retreat into a bunker during the clashes with Israel and his development of a survival obsession show that he is already psychologically broken. According to Western intelligence analysis, Khamenei is now mentally and physically weaker and has lost his ability to control events. This psychological collapse turns the escape plan to Moscow from a Plan B into an inevitable end. The "Death to the Dictator" slogans echoing in the streets of Iran ironically herald that Khamenei will suffer the same fate as the Shah, whom he overthrew in 1979. But the Shah went to Egypt. Khamenei, however, is seeking refuge in the world's biggest pariah state, Putin's Russia, heading to join history's biggest geopolitical losers club. This event is not a local uprising that will remain confined to the backstreets of Tehran. It is the breaking of the weakest link in the chain of autocratic alliances stretching from Moscow to Beijing, from Caracas to Damascus. The collapse of the regime in Iran does not just mean a change of government. It means the bankruptcy of Putin's war economy and global terrorist financing. The ripple effect strikes its first and most violent blow at the source of the Iranian people's anger, the flow of money. For years, while the Iranian people struggled with the devaluation of the rial, inflation exceeding 100%, and difficulty accessing basic foodstuffs, the Khamenei regime systematically pumped the country's wealth out of the country. The most striking slogan on the streets proves that this betrayal has been recognized. Neither Gaza nor Lebanon, my life for Iran. This slogan is the final nail in the coffin of the regime's ideological legitimacy. Iranians now clearly see that the money cut from their children's throats went to Hezbollah's missiles, the Houthis' drones in Yemen, and most importantly, to the Shahed drones used by Russia to strike Ukraine. Every drone Khamenei sold to Putin was a hospital, a school, a meal stolen from the Iranian people's welfare. Now the people are taking to the streets to demand accountability for this theft, and this reckoning is hitting Putin's supply chain directly. The regime's home front is completely collapsed. The image Khamenei has marketed for years as soft power and
Now listen. He was stealing the wealth away from the land, deceiving them with Islam, just as Othman Danfodio did in Nigeria. Steal the wealth, deceive them with Islam, tell them about a God, and the people will rise up to die for that God. He, instead of building up Iran, he kept on building up weapons of mass destruction, telling them that they are going for a holy war. But him himself is not ready to lead that holy war. In the Bible, we see David being in the front line. We saw Moses. We saw Elijah. We saw all these men in the front line. Even in the days of the Normandies, the kings that ruled Europe, whenever there is a battle, the king is in the front line. King Richard, the front line. Alexandria the Great, the front line. Napoleon Bonaparte, the front line. Hannibal the Great, the front line. Attila the Hun, the front line. Marco Polo, the front line. Even Adolf Hitler, the front line. Only Islamic leaders will hide in a rabbit hole and tell people go and die for God, but they are behind eating money. When it comes time for them to die, they start running like headless chicken. They don't want to die for the faith they preached about. Great men stand in the front line and die for what they believe in. Iranian leaders, Islamic leaders, never ever will they die for it. But you, their followers, you, the one they converted to become an idiot and a personal self-destruction engine or machine, you go out and die. You are dying for a God. You will die now. Is it not that? You will die. And that will be your end. That will be your end, your ultimate fate. How would I make this step? Okay. No wahala. That will be your end. Your ultimate fate. You are dying for Islam. Look at him. Making way with the money. Asari Dokubo, he walks like this every now and then. Preaching about, oh, we'll die. When the death came, Asari Dokubo took off. He ran away. And people are there talking trash. I pity anyone. God Almighty never made any religion. God never created any religion. So if you want to say, oh, he's supporting Christianity. No, we are not supporting any religion here. We are only telling you how foolish mankind, humanity became in the name of religion, fighting for a God. Islam God said kill, kill, kill 21 times in the Quran. 21 times or even more. Their God never heals. There's no place in the Quran that you see that, oh, and their God healed. But their God can only tell, kill. The Christian God said kill, and the Christian God also heals. At least other gods in history, they heal. The only God in history that never heals is the Islamic God. But he's the one that requires more blood than any other person. Today, Khamenei is running. Don't worry, Khamenei. You wish to get to Russia. But you see the patience, they will capture you one way or the other. They will capture you. Let us continue.
Ideological leadership has been shattered by his own people. The landing and takeoff of Belarusian cargo planes in Tehran is the most concrete evidence of how alienated the regime has become from its own people. If a government imports batons and tear gas from another dictator to suppress its own citizens, that government is effectively finished. This situation is creating a devastating domino effect, not only within Iran, but also on all proxy forces in the region. Hezbollah and the Houthis are watching in horror as their ATMS in Tehran are shut down and orders and funds from headquarters are cut off. If Iran falls, the backbone of the axis of evil in the Middle East will be broken, and this break will render all of Russia's strategic investments in the region meaningless. More importantly, the rising Persian nationalism and Pahlavi nostalgia in Iran is an ideological nightmare for Russia. Protesters chanting Javid Shah slogans and the emergence of the deposed Shah's son, Reza Pahlavi, as a unifying figure spell the end of Russia's relationship of mutual interest with the Islamist regime. Because a possible new, secular and Western-integrated Iranian administration would be Moscow's natural rival, not its ally. An Iran that is free from sanctions and could be an alternative to Russia in energy markets could completely eliminate Putin's leverage over oil and gas. Khamenei's flight to Moscow is not just a change of personnel. It is the birth of a massive strategic void and hostility in Russia's southern flank. While Putin flounders in the Ukrainian quagmire, he now faces the risk of losing a friendly regime in the south and potentially becoming neighbors with a pro-Western giant. This ripple effect also shatters Russia's multipolar world narrative. The fairy tale of resistance against Western hegemony, peddled for years by Putin and Khamenei, has collapsed under the Iranian people's demands for freedom. It appears that the...
Now, let's stop this one there. Let's stop it right there. So, let's stop it right there, right there. Because we have a lot to talk about. You all can see what happens when you fail to do the needful. When you fail as a leader to do the needful, but you rather prefer to pump in money into something else, buying weapons every single day. God told you that you are going to wage a holy war and win it. Now, there is an analysis that we want to give about the BRICS. BRICS, the BRICS, and how the BRICS have become the losers club. But then let's continue first. We are bringing up another video to your screen here so that you all can see. Just listen.
Doing in Venezuela, Chinese officials doing in Venezuela just hours before we got them.
Beijing did not know what was going to happen. They were totally surprised. China was humiliated. Xi Jinping thought he could push Trump around on geopolitics. And what we saw on Saturday night, that's not the case. It's not just that Venezuela that China's lost. It's also in the process of losing Iran, an even more important proxy for the Chinese.
So you see that? Some people don't understand what warfare is. There are some warfares that are asymmetric. There are some warfares that are mind-wise. There are some warfares that are logistical. And manners of approach and delivery. They are 100% logistical. Beijing thinks that to become great is to take the schematics or the manuscript of a great man. Then you study it. You are not studying it to build up to become someone. You study it, then you duplicate it. Then you come out to show to the world that you are great. China fell, and China fell woefully. China was in Venezuela the day Maduro was removed. China was there. They went there. Oh, we are coming to talk about high security measures. We have mounted the biggest or the highest um, air defense system. There's no F-35 that can cross here. We'll burn out the F-35s in the heaven. We'll do this one. We'll do that one. They threatened. They made all manners of noise. You know, a paper tiger is very good to roar. You know, they have been roaring for a very long time. China has been roaring for a very long time. A dragon that roars. I said, okay, no worries. Let's see what happens. That same day, America removed the guy and the wife. And do you know one thing about the wife of Nicolas Maduro? You know, she has been in the political field for a very long time when Maduro was a bus driver. And the nephews or the cousins of the wife of Nicolas Maduro, I think her name should be Celia, were long arrested, long time ago, by the US for drug charges. And the woman flipped the story and said it was a kidnap. Many of her family members have been captured, and many people that are aligned to her have been captured. But do you know that this capture never made any headline, because they tried every way they can to suppress it, of which they did. So she has been wanted by America for a very, very long time. That was why America had to capture her and take her away. They felt that they were secured, but they never knew that the warfare is coming from another angle. So to those that are rejoicing in South Africa, oh, we are going to have our currency, the dollar will be nothing. Then to what's the name of that idiot from Kenya? William Rotten Ruto. Oh, we are going to finish. And the ones in Sahel, we are aligning. The West is not against you developing. The West will respect you if ideologically and mentally you are stable. The West will respect you. The West is not like this axis of evil or the other nations that will say, oh, we give you weapon, we prepare you for war, we'll go to war. Warfare have changed. Warfare comes in different ways. When Trump was campaigning, he said, make America great again, that he single-handedly will pull down the bricks and restore the world order. Because it is disgraceful to see people come out to say, to talk about sovereignty. A government will be in office killing and destroying their own citizens, burning down everything. And when someone wants to say what you are doing is wrong, they say, no, we are a sovereign state. We have the right, according to this charter, according to that charter. America said, enough of that nonsense. It's time we stop this foolishness. You deliberately do evil. You deliberately destroy lives and properties, spoil entire nations, and you talk about sovereignty. The moment you do it, will come for you. That is what happened in Venezuela. And African leaders, 100% of African leaders, from North Africa down to South Africa, the entire Africa, all their leaders, they love doing that thing. So the era of politically correctness or correct speech, politically correct, whatever, and the era of diplomatic immunity, I cannot be touched, is officially over. You mess up, you will be touched. You will be touched. Listen to this. We are there.
Wide open on video in complete defiance. We're looking at something Iran has never shown before. Police standing down on camera in the wide open on video in complete defiance. Do you understand yet? Local police in Iran aren't cracking the skull of these freedom fighters on the streets. They're standing aside. Some are even waving to the crowd. Okay, that should tell you everything. When a terrorist regime run by Khamenei, an Iraqi cult, a foreign occupier, a delegitimate government of the Iranian people, okay, is losing its own police, it's already in trouble. Look at what they did at Sina Hospital. The terrorist regime, they surrounded it. Khamenei doesn't even trust Iranians anymore, okay? They have too many soldiers and officers who are refusing to hurt their own people. So the regime is hiring Iraqi militia and Hezbollah to survive this. Look at the gear they're using. This is crowd-controlled weapons made in communist China, okay? Foreign forces propping up a collapsing terrorist regime. Khamenei has lost so much power since his humiliating defeat in the 12-day war, which was a global embarrassment, and Arabs laugh at him now. He's completely dependent on communist China and these Iraqi Arab militia fighters and Hezbollah to help him. The only thing saving him is Trump flying a big boy over the skies and giving him his final TKO. Ancient Iran is a beautiful civilization, right? But this terrorist regime is fragile. Share this so people in...
So you see, we are mixing it. We give one Iran, we give one Venezuela. We give one Iran, we give one Venezuela. Because we need to touch them, you know. We don't want to base on one and talk too long. When we put this one here, we talk about it. We put the other one, we talk about it. You heard how the guy ended it. He said, ancient Iran, which is special, is a beautiful civilization. How can you see a civilization that is thriving, that has brought about magnificent changes in the world? Then you come with your religion and say, let us destroy this civilization. Let us kill anyone that is intelligent. Let us kill anyone that will bring about advancement in technology, advancement in education, advancement in medicine, advancement in art. Let us kill them all. And you now say, oh, your God said every man should kneel down every day and worship and pray to him. Then you are the one speaking for that God. You kill the brightest, put the most useless in places of honor. That is what Islam literally does. And Africa as a whole, that is what virtually all black nations of the world does. More especially those that are headed by religious bigots from the Muslim world and even from the so-called Christendom. Bigots everywhere. And you want us, oh, we are Africans, oh, we are Nigerians, oh, we are Igbos, oh, we are Yorubandis, oh, we are Fulani, no. And say, because we are from here, we shouldn't talk about it. We should just let it be. God will look into it. God will hear our prayer. Shah will kill you there. You are a fool. You are a massive fool from the pit of hell. Look at a great civilization, Persia, destroyed by Islam. Wherever they put their feet on, they destroy everything. And they order you go and die. You start dying for this, their ideological concept. It has come down to the wires right now. And 80-something years old Khamenei has turned to Usain Bolt, sprinting. I don't think he's sprinting anymore. If there is anything like sprinting, maybe he's sprinting right now. So, England, don't think about that. We are here to adjust the English language in our own terms. Or sprinted, not sprinted. Sprinted. Mad people everywhere. Mad reptiles everywhere. Just look at Persia. So they can run. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Yeshua. Oh, blimey. According to ancient British, Old English. Oh, blimey. All right. So let's continue. We are not here to joke. We are here to critically look into certain things. Oh, religion is the opium of the people. Oh, without religion, nothing will happen. Oh, people will die. God will get offended. To hell with that God that's going to get offended. Do we give a damn about it, God? The answer is no. Now we are looking back into into Maduro, how Maduro was captured. All the best technology of China was there. They are prepared for war. I don't know if it's here, but I'll try to bring it up. I saw a Chinese leader talking shit. China will not throw the first bomb, but China will not allow you to throw the second bomb. China is the only country on earth that has a hydrogen bomb. Oh, Xi Jinping launched it. He called it the 60 in 1. 60 nuclear warheads and one hydrogen bomb. They send it, they destroy everywhere. I only laugh in Japanese. Xi Jinping, we have a good news for you. You know, we are dealing with ancient criminals that stole ancient historical lands. I don't know where you people came from. The people of China, I don't know where you came from, because that land is Idu. 1,000,000% Idu. And every historical fact of that land still remains there, including the black terracotta of ancient Idu and the black pyramid of ancient Idu is still in that land in China. But you buried it. You want to turn the black terracotta to white or faded glory color. You think we forget things? No, this is ancient Idu. We know a whole lot. The land belongs to us, Idu. Don't worry. You will leave. The time is coming. You shall all leave. Mad reptiles everywhere. You have the bombs. But the good news is that your hydrogen bomb will explode in the land. In your own land. America just showed it to you. That's this America. We are not talking of Britain. Britain alone, twice, Britain humiliated you. The other one with France, they humiliated you. They took over the entire China. Japan did the same thing. Humiliated you, controlled the entire land. It was Britain and America that saved China, Second World War, and drove away Japan. Only for Xi Jinping's China last year, without shame, celebrating victory they defeated Japan. How China defeated Japan during the Second World War. I swear before the Almighty God. You see this Southern Corporation that they say, what do they call them? Wanting South, the Global South. It's a group of useless criminals led by China, Russia, Iran, then with their houseboy, South Africa. It's a group of useless people, shameless criminals that see historical facts, turn it upside down. China, how did you people defeat Japan during Second World War? Because we know what Japan did to you. Even almighty Russia, Japan defeated Russia. Russo-Japanese War. Japan defeated Russia and humbled them to the ground. It was America that came and helped Russia. We know the original histories. We know it. That is why we are ancient Idu. That is why we are different from other broadcasters. You know, the knowledge in a man brings a man before kings. We don't go with popular media. We don't follow anything that the media night, aka the modern day media system of the world, gives out. You spin history around. You shamelessly brag that you defeated Japan. Now today, your most powerful weapon did not shoot one shot. It reminded me of the Maginot de Rocks that France built during the Second World War, the most expensive defense project in the world that never shot a shot, and France fell to Germany. That is how China technology failed in Venezuela. It took America 2 hours to run down the entire country, remove the president, and went away with the wife. But how many years now is Russia fighting Ukraine? They cannot capture the comedian that became a president. Yes, Zelensky used to be a comedian, because many of you don't know, Zelensky was a comedian, a standard comedian, just as Maduro was a bus driver. He drives public transport, conveys people from one bus stop to the other. That was what Maduro was. This is it. When you put useless people in office, they become terrible dragons. Reptiles everywhere. We'll look back into the truth and we'll bring it the way that you don't even expect that someone will bring it. Mad people everywhere. Mad people. Mad. Look at what is going on in the world. Then we'll have Asari Dokuba. Asari Dokuba will sit down like this with his bloated stomach. I am taking your history. I am taking your history. We have another reptile called Ned Unwoke. Hey, come on. And your people used to be. When I look at these people, I said, oh God, how did they manage to get into Ubo Iduland? How? How? From Ubo to Igbo. How? It is because useless teachers have been there from the onset, turning the stories upside down. Today, in a country that is called South Africa, we know Shaka the Zulu as a black man. But in the modern day narrative of Shaka the Zulu, it's a pure white man. Look at how they change original historical facts, and bastards called the present day citizens or present day people of the world. When you talk to them, they say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is like they are changing the narratives right there. That's why I said many of our fathers or predecessors that lived before us are very useless people. They are the root and the source of the collapse of morality, ideological concept that is positive in the world of today. They are the ones. So now, see how the Chinese technology failed. 2 hours, America emptied a nation, a terrible nation. Watch it.
150 American assets, including bombers, arrest Nicolas Maduro. The United States used more than 150 American assets, including bombers, fighter jets, and spy satellites. Before this operation, U.S. forces formally created a replica of Maduro's hideout and conducted rehearsals for several days. This mission was so sensitive that even the U.S. Congress was kept in the dark. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, American intelligence agencies were closely monitoring every move of President Nicolas Maduro. Everything was documented: where he slept, what he ate, what he wore, and even which pets he had. After gathering all the intelligence, on Friday night, President Trump authorized the operation. Following this, the operation was launched simultaneously by air, land, and sea, involving more than 150 American assets. These forces attacked all Venezuelan military bases and rendered them ineffective. After that, Delta Force's units reached Maduro's hideout. As soon as they arrived, they came under heavy fire and one helicopter was damaged, though it narrowly escaped complete destruction. The Delta Forces arrested Maduro and his associates, and at 4:20 a.m., an American helicopter departed Venezuela with them on board. They have now been transferred to New York, where they will face trial in American courts. To arrest Nicolas Maduro, the United States used more than 150 American assets, including bombers, fighter jets, and spy satellites. Before this operation, U.S. forces formally created a replica of Maduro's hideout and conducted rehearsals for several days. This mission was so sensitive that even the U.S. Congress was kept in the dark. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, American intelligence agencies were closely monitoring every move of President Nicolas Maduro. Everything was documented: where he slept, what he ate, what he wore, and even which pets he had. After gathering all the intelligence, on Friday night, President Trump authorized the operation. Following this, the operation was launched simultaneously by air, land, and sea, involving more than 150 American assets. These forces attacked all Venezuelan military bases and rendered them ineffective. After that, Delta Force's units reached Maduro's hideout. As soon as they arrived, they came under heavy fire and one helicopter was damaged, though it narrowly escaped complete destruction. The Delta Forces arrested Maduro and his associates, and at 4:20 a.m., an American helicopter departed Venezuela with them on board. They have now been transferred to New York, where they will face trial in American courts. To arrest Nicolas Maduro, the United States used more than 150...
All right, we allowed that one to play twice. That was how Nicolas Maduro got captured and shamelessly removed from Venezuela. A man that has been in power using... Oh, no, let's not go there. Let's not go there. There is a place that we are going to that is a very long one. There is a place we are going to. So let's check out this one first.
Successful company choose to partner with a regime that the US had already... Massive red flag. Why?
Now, let's stop it here. This one, I was reasoning if there was any need to do it. But we are going to do it. Do you know why we are going to do this one right now? Because this one involves a particular race, the primordial, the first. Until today, those people are the most useless things ever on the surface of the earth. This race is the most useless, although they have great men and women that are littered all over the world, that are doing wonders, that through them, civilization entered most of the, in fact, virtually all the world. But where they came from, presently now, is occupied by reptiles. And these people are called the Igbo people, the Igbo, the IGBO. You can see their son, Asari Dokubo, an Igbo man. Every day Asari Dokubo opens his filthy mouth, garbage, trash comes out. Asari Dokubo is promoting Islam, that he's ready to burn the land for Islam. The Obi of Oguta is a Muslim. How many Obis in the Igbo land today are Muslims? As at now, as we speak right now, officially, there is a total number of 117,000, but we know that it's like 200,000 thereabout, Muslims in Igbo land. Today, as of today. But they will all be removed. As a false religion entered, that is the way the religion will live. But this time around, the religion is not living just like that. It will live with every worshipper that ever bow their head to worship. They will all be removed, regardless of how close such a person could be to you. It might be your family member or thereabout, but we don't care. You will be removed. Now see, wherever they mention high profile crime in the world, an Igbo man must be there. Igbo billionaires are there. Your Otto Eze is there. Your Oju Zokalu is there. Your anything that you want to think of, they are there. For the capture of Maduro, a couple of names have dropped from Nigeria. From the capture of Nicolas Maduro, the biggest oil tanker in the world, the skipper was captured. It's owned by Russia, it's owned by China. Many fools from Nigeria, Igbo land, they don't even know that the tanker is owned by Delta States, Igbo land. Delta State. The idiot that say, oh, we are not Igbos. We are Niger Delta. We are Delta people. Your name is Okechukwu. You are not Igbo, but you are Delta. You speak Igbo. You are not Igbo. You are Delta. That's why Igbos are the most irritating creatures on earth. Look at the bastard called Otto Eze. When we talk about Otto Eze, you see many Igbo people rise up. He's talking about us. He's talking about our Ikwikwi. He's talking about our Osu. He's talking about our... I just look at these people. Don't you people have shame as Igbo people? For once in your rotten existence, don't you have shame? Look at... They are talking about criminals involved with Maduro. Oju Zokalu has shown up. One criminal. Another one again that has shown up again is Otto Eze. Listen to it, so that before you fools will come around and say, he's talking about Igbos, we are not going to listen to him. Who cares about you? Listen.
A legit billionaire with a hugely successful company choose to partner with a regime that the US had already sanctioned and publicly called a narco state. It makes no sense. The suspicious intersection. And this is where it gets completely insane. In August 2024, it was reported that Arthur Ease's company signed a deal with Venezuela's government-owned oil company to develop 2 massive natural gas fields. The signing ceremony was a huge deal. Prince Ease and President Maduro were both there, shaking hands. On the surface, it looked like a normal business deal. As he said, Africa was ready to invest in Venezuela, and Maduro celebrated the joining of forces. But you have to remember the context. Nigeria's oil industry has had massive corruption problems for decades. Reports have shown how billions of dollars can just disappear into secret deals. It's a world where you can't tell where business ends and politics begins. At the exact same time, police all over the world have pointed to West Africa, and especially Nigeria, as the main transit point for South American cocaine going to Europe. There's even a name for the route, Highway 10.
Let's stop it there. You see, they said police all over the world have pointed their fingers to West Africa. Where in West Africa? Nigeria. Who are the people? I can tell you that at least 80% of these people are Igbo people. if not 90%. Police all over the world, up to the point that they nicknamed Nigeria as Highway 10. Highway 10. 10. Highway 10. Hmm? The only thing, anything negative in the world, you see them there. Anything negative. That is how Senate President, what's his name again? Ngwere Madu. Ngwere Madu. A reptile. From 1999, democracy of the so-called democracy of Nigeria till today, Ngwere Madu has been dealing on human organs. And this man is a senator that has so much money, but he keeps selling human organs till he got captured finally. That is the Igbos. Demonically inclined from eternity to eternity, the IGBO. Nnamdi Kanu said something is wrong with the term IGBO, that he believes that we are Ubo Idu. That's what Nnamdi Kanu said, that it baffles him. They codenamed it Highway 10, the securities of the world. Even Russia, KGB, they call it Highway 10. That is the same way the term Biafra came. Biafra was another code name for the selling of slaves. The same Igbo people say, we are Biafrans. Call them Ngwere, reptile, and give them money. Igbo people will come out and say, we are truly reptiles. Give them money. They change their identity to any rubbish that comes to their brain. Any rubbish, just give them money, leave them. Lousy people, lousy to the core. This is your billionaire, Otto Eze. Sin. When we thought they say, Otto Eze is helping Igbo people. Do you know how many people he gave Keke Marua? How much is Keke Marua? $1,000. A bike. Even cars that they say, just step into Canada, you see powerful SUVs sold for $700. When Oteze gives you a $700 SUV, you slaughter an entire community to praise him. Mad people, mad reptiles. We don't have pity. You see, we have been dealing with other people coming, but as we got to the side of the Igbos, we had to attack them with venom because these people are venomous. So, listen.
A well-known path for drug smugglers. Drug cartels from South America depend on gangs in West Africa to move their stuff. Do you see what's happening? The situation is just chilling. You have a dictator whose government is accused of being a cocaine cartel. You have a billionaire from a country that is a superhighway for drugs.
See, you have a billionaire from a country which is a superhighway for drugs. Who is this billionaire? Otto Eze. Otto Eze. Next one, we'll bring Jose Okalo here also with the same Nicolas Maduro. And they'll tell you that there is resources in the land, of course, genuine resources. But why does the Igbo people get involved in anything evil? Later they turn around, oh, America is against us. Britain is against us. They came with the Bible. You are, in fact, the entire black world, you people are useless. You are talking about Christianity. Islam was running the land and the entire black world down for over 1,000 years. Islam continued unchecked. Until today, there is no Islamic world that you have a black minister or a black governor or a black president. No Islamic world. They see you as slave in perpetuity. But the West that gave you the little leverage to become that. Every day you come out, oh, you're against the religion, you focus on religion, you forget about the main thing. That's why we don't respect you people. We are Idu. We don't give you any regards. We see you as bandits everywhere. We see you as bandits. Get offended when you watch this program. Do we care? We never care. This one now that we are bringing up here is still Maduro. And this one, we are going to tongue-lash India for this one before we go to the last side. Let's go there.
She's actually the daughter of a Venezuelan terrorist who kidnapped an American businessman and was of police forces. That really shows to you how she's a true ideal, very smart and worldly, and she knows how to handle herself. So right now, we Venezuelans fear that they're going to leave us with Delcy Rodriguez, who we know as our chief.
Okay, so this is the first step, what Donald Trump's administration did. What is your message to our president?
President Trump, I know you watch this show. Thank you so much for caring about our cause when we have been ignored for 26 years. Thank you for arresting Maduro and giving us that glimpse of justice for the first time. Now, please finish the job. Delcy Rodriguez, under Delcy Rodriguez, there's no recovering the oil industry. Under Diosdado Cabello, who's right now terrorizing Caracas streets, there's no justice. Please finish the job. She's even more radical than Maduro. That really shows to you how she's a true ideologue. She's very smart and worldly, and she knows how to handle herself. So right now, we Venezuelans fear that they're going to leave us with Delcy Rodriguez, who we know as our chief of torture.
Okay, so this is the first step, what Donald Trump's administration did. What is your message to our president?
All right. Can you
President
guys hear
Trump,
me?
I know you watch this show. Thank you so much for caring about our cause when we have been ignored for 26 years. Thank you for arresting Maduro and giving us that glimpse of justice for the first time. Now, please finish the job. Delcy Rodriguez, under Delcy Rodriguez, there's no recovering the oil industry. Under Diosdado Cabello, who's right now terrorizing Caracas streets, there's no justice. Please finish the job. She's even more
All right. This one is a Venezuelan thanking President Trump for the job President Trump did. But before Trump did that job, the state media of India have been publishing, showing to the entire world that the whole country of Venezuela, they were armed, waiting for America, that they would die there. India publishing rubbish, boosting lies. But they cannot fight Pakistan. Both of them were preparing nuclear weapons. Trump told them in a straight language, anybody that uses nuclear weapon will wipe you out of the surface of this world. See, today they say, oh, Trump never stopped the war. They were the ones. Trump tried to claim the glory. That is what India is saying. China has never won any war in their entire life. But the war against India, China won it. You can see two useless superpowers. The only war that was recorded nicely that China won was against India. So, but these two nations can tell lies. They can publish rubbish and tell lies. Trump dealt with over 2 million illegal immigrants. Indian illegal immigrants, 2 or 3 million, residing in America. But these people, they don't have shame. You go to other people's land, you steal idea, you steal technology, you steal everything. You go back to your own country and say that you are great. But the ones that can make such inventions, you don't allow them to see the limelight. When they come to your country, you kill them off. But when they go to the West and triumph and become something, you go there, you steal their technology. The Western Hemisphere, led by America, the Western civilization, led by America, will rule the world forever. And as he do, we'll make sure that whatever that we can offer that will make the West to rule the world forever in perpetuity, we'll do it. Because with them, the world tends to be safer than what the world has today. A bunch of gangsters cannot rule this world. Coming from India, China, Russia, anywhere, they cannot. It's as simple as that. Until they recognize what the true international order is all about. For now, they are still aggrieved that they need to topple the world and rule the world. It's not going to work that way. All right, we are going to move to the last stage of this broadcast before we knock off and continue with part 3 tomorrow. No. It's not going to be the last stage. This one that we are entering now, it's another useless country. You know, we showed Nigeria Highway 10. Highway 10, the code name they gave Nigeria for being a drug route to the rest of the world. The same code name they gave Nigeria for being a route that they used to sell slaves, the highest route. That name is Biafra. Biafra in northern Cameroon, Biafra in Equatorial Guinea, Biafra in this other side, Biafra in that other side. But the Biafra, the name was never named the land of Ubo. It was Francis Opigo that brought that name and gave it to the land of Ubo. But when we talk about it today, you see fools that call themselves Igbo. I'm Bunde Biafra. We are Biafrans. We are Biafrans. They are turning our name upside down. But you people are useless. We don't care how you feel about it. We don't care. Now they can say anytime he mentions the name Biafra, anytime he mentions it at you and everybody walks away. Look at Nigeria. There is no electricity, no water, nothing. People are suffering. People are dying. Nigeria kills every single day for religion's sake. Look at what Nigeria is doing. Look at it on your screen. This is Nigeria protesting for Nicolas Maduro. Why wouldn't they protest when the country is highway 10 for drug trafficking, drug sales across the world? Everything that is bad and evil under the heaven only works in Nigeria. Anything that is bad and evil only works in Nigeria. Look at it. But let me give it volume so that you will hear what they are saying.
From the United States. When people take over, all oppression, then go run away. When people take over. Viva Venezuela! Viva! From the Venezuela Solidarity Campaign in Nigeria, a campaign platform of socialist trade unions, civil society, youth group, workers from informal and informal sector. We bring solidarity to the people of the Venezuela working class and the Venezuela working people.
Let's stop it there. That is the only thing I need them to talk. Do you know why I have to stop it there? They are Nigerians. And as Nigerians, they are animals. We don't have regards for them. Look at foolish things. These are the use of Nigerians that are worth nothing, even as human beings and even as dead people. They still worth nothing. There is no light, no electricity, no water, nothing. They are suffering and dying in that country. No employment, no job. Ordinary paracetamol is not in the country. Ordinary paracetamol is not in the entire Nigeria. They are there doing Viva Venezuela. They are in solidarity with. But they are killing Christians every day. Did you see any of these people come out to march to say something about it? Never. These are black people. Useless things led by Nigeria. Black useless people led by Nigeria. We don't care about how you feel. This is a shame to do. Get as mad as you want to get mad. It's none of our fucking business. Okay? This is Iran. This is Iran. Let's give it volume. Let's see. This is Iran. This is the Ayatollah being pulled down. This is the Ayatollah being pulled down. There is something that we wanted to put out here, but let's see. What says the time? What we wanted to put out here is about 30 minutes, but we are going to stop right here. We'll stop right here. Tomorrow we'll be back here to look into this issue. We'll be back here to look at it, and we'll start from China and Maduro, Assad. And in fact, we are looking into the losers club, people that failed in alliance with China. Let this be a takeaway for each and every single one of you out there. According to information that we got today, we saw that Iran, they have landed in South Africa for joint military drills. So South Africa has given up their non-alignment position and they have taken a side. They are ready to go to war. I only laugh in Japanese. Before we go, we'll drop the normal Nigerian patois here so that you will know what time it is. You know, when it starts happening, South Africa, dead body goes surplus. Then you people will understand. Even if dead body surplus, black people are black people. They can never ever learn. So animals are animals from generation to generation. That is how it is, and that's the way it's gonna keep on. That's the way. Just let's forget about it. Let's not go there. So, from us in the studios of Ancient to Do to you out there, we say bye bye. See you tomorrow when we do the part 3 of what brought us out here today. Thanks.